Governor Brian Kemp is expected to sign a sweeping early reading bill into law today.
Supporters say it could mean big changes in elementary schools across Georgia. Atlanta News First reporter Mary Kate Hamilton is live at the Georgia State Capitol. So Mary Kate, this is a $70 million project.
Yeah, that's right. This is a significant piece of legislation. It's called the Georgia Early Literacy Act, and it passed in both the House and the Senate unanimously back on March 31st. Today, Governor Kemp poised to make it official. Now, supporters of this bill say that it was one of their biggest priorities this legislative session, with a focus on getting children reading early in kindergarten through third grade. Along with that early reading emphasis, the bill also updates dyslexia and screening requirements and steers districts towards instruction that follows what they call the science of reading. But the biggest change many parents may see day to day, the bill calls for a full-time literacy coach in every school. The state would provide grants to help reimburse districts for the salary and the benefits of those coaches, and it would require the coaches to spend at least 70% of their time in classrooms working hands-on with students and teachers. And while the focus is on younger learners, advocates say the impact will be long-lasting.
For me, literacy is about social justice. You know, we live in a society, you have to be able to read so that you can have access and opportunity. And so, you know, we have to make sure that we afford our students with the opportunity so that they can be successful in life.
But of course, nothing is official until the governor's signature is dry. So that's what we are keeping our eyes on here today. For now, live at the Georgia State Capitol, Mary Kate Hamilton, Atlanta News First.